Mary Lynn and I both live with chronic pain. We both know from personal experience just how difficult this can be. But we've also been very fortunate in that we both have come into contact with people who have introduced us to a wide range of different techniques that can help us reduce the burden of chronic pain and enable us to improve our daily experience. The app concept that we developed at the hackathon with Harry and Harry, great names, sound like country and western act, at the CPA hackathon, and since then, because we have actually been continuing to work on this concept, it's been based on our experience, and it will enable others to use goal planning to achieve both modest and more ambitious long-term goals. The mechanism provides a way for the user to learn about different techniques and strategies that can reduce the impact of chronic pain on everyday life. But that's just the beginning. Through their use of the app, the user will create a profile that reflects not only their condition and the things that help, but also their ambitions going forwards. This data can be used to connect people with shared conditions, interests, and/or experiences to reduce feelings of hopelessness and isolation by enabling effective peer support. Our intention is to connect to existing sources and knowledge through platforms like Pain Bites, as well as harnessing expertise from organisations such as the ACI to create a product that also supports healthcare professionals who work with people living with chronic pain. Now, we're here today to seek support and potential collaboration, to tap into the enormous knowledge base and to seek funding to take the Empower Us app forward to the next stage of development. Hand over.
Thank you. So during the hackathon, really the idea was co-creation or co-design, which means you talk to people who are actually experiencing day-to-day, and just to get a little bit more background, we started a survey just to get input from more people. So the first survey that we did was during the hackathon. We got 59 responses through the CPA Facebook page, which is really good. And well, one of the things we shown is we specifically said the ACI Pain Management Network health plan, and it turns out a lot of people don't know it. So it either means they don't know it, or they might know it but not under that name, or it's a marketing issue of getting more things out there. But over 90% interest was shown for people to have something like an app or a tool to support them. So that's really good. As we were carrying on since the last 2 months, the second survey we did, we went a bit more in-depth about this idea of using goals and introducing people to pain management strategies. So the responses for that were very good as well. And especially 21 people open to get to be interviewed, which is really good to get more in-depth knowledge, because surveys are good, but interviews are way better. And so we'll give a quick overview. So on the left you see the different management strategies, and I really took that from the pain book and from conversations. What's interesting is that some things are not very well known. Neuroplasticity, encourage building, either not sure what it is or how it helps. So I think that's a good avenue to use this to specifically tie it in with what people want. And so interesting also, exercise, 15% of people stop, which you can imagine if it's painful, they might not do it. But actually then educate them why it's important and how to pace that is really important. And I think the app could help. People really like relaxation, encourage building to be part of an app, but pretty much everything scores very high. And the other point is, and Coralie has been telling us all in all, this making connections. Connections are really important. And so we asked people what kind of connections they would like to make. And I think with their health professionals, that makes a lot of sense. But also to know that, not with friends maybe as much because you don't want to burden them, but at the same time, they can be a good support network. Definitely peers is a good one. So I'll hand over to Harry.
So it falls on me to run you through the core experience of the app. So the core experience is basically just this. You create a profile, you create a goal, you track your goal, you achieve the goal, rinse and repeat, except for create the profile, obviously, because you guys have chronic pain, not split personality disorder. So when you first go into the app, you create your profile, and these are the kinds of things that you should be sharing information about, your condition, the type of pain, the kind of key triggers, the things that have been known to help, telephone number, privacy. If you want to share that, you share that. If you don't, you don't. And then the app kind of churns through all that data and says, hey, we found other people in the network that have a similar sort of condition. Would you like to connect with them? Or would you like to connect with people with similar sorts of goals as you? And that's sort of further down the track after you've created a goal. But then you move on to the next one. We're just running through the first time you fire up the app. You create your profile, you get prompted to connect with other people, and then you get prompted to set your first goal, and you're told to think smart, those things. So you set your goal, and it asks you, what do you want to do? In this case, Mary Lynn wanted to climb the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So she puts that in there, and she decides which kind of tools might help her to achieve that goal. She's not familiar. She's kind of familiar with exercise, but she wants to know what the experts out there are talking about it. So she clicks on Tell Me More, and there's a little educational piece that we can draw from the expert sources already out there. We can repurpose all that content, put it in there, and help people sort of just plan out what things might help with them. And then she returns to set a goal, and she sets the actual Sydney Harbour Bridge climb goal. She sets a goal, and a goal is pretty robust in terms of the technology, in terms of the app. It's pretty robust because it's simply a collection of tasks. A goal is a top-line thing that you want to do. It's made up of different tasks that help you achieve that goal. So you set your first goal, you start a start date, end date, you tag it so that it can be logged into the database for other people to look at and for other people to explore as possible things that they might be interested in doing. And then you get to the next screen and you add all these tasks into the goal. In this case, Mary Lynn has already added 2 tasks, to walk 400 steps on the 15th of August and then to walk 500 steps on the 22nd of August. And maybe she wants to add another one just to build up to that Sydney Harbour Bridge climb. Once she's done all this, she goes away, and the app reminds her, for example, on the 15th of August, hey, you're due to walk the 400 steps. Don't forget about it. After that, she checks in and says, and tells the app whether she actually accomplished the task or not. And she can add notes in there, like, the pain level before she did the task and after she did the task. She can add little comments as a sort of mini pain diary that she can look back on later on. And then she saves that, or she can share, or she can share this update with the people in her network within the app. So that's the core experience that we're talking about. This is sort of supplementary stuff. As you can see, it's a slightly different screen because we haven't quite figured out how to put this experience effectively into a small screen. So right now it's sort of a desktop sort of thing where you can actually browse other goals that have been uploaded by other people in the network. So for example, Mary Lynn's goal of walking the Harbour Bridge is in there. Meditation, for example, has been uploaded by Coralie, and it's been rated by 567 members as 5 stars, so people might want to check that out. It's been added by 305 members. A lot of people are trying that right now. A lot of people are attempting that. A lot of people have achieved that. So this is part of that network, the power of that network, where you're not just doing your own goal, you're actually harnessing the knowledge of other people on that network. This is a toolkit browser, which is just an expanded form of that little button where you click within the app itself, where if you want to find out more about exercise or whatever. This is an expanded version because there's some things that you can't do on a small screen and some things that are done well on a small screen. So if you want more detailed sort of sets of tools, you can browse all that in there. And this is also sort of user-generated, that people can upload that, people can rate that and see how well it works for them. Yeah. So let's just go back to the forest after we've talked about the trees. Why did we choose goal planning in the first place? I first started the hackathon by talking to Tim, and we were talking about, I'm training to be a data scientist myself, and we were talking about how mobile apps are great because they're tracking everything, you're generating all this data. The problem is with people in chronic pain And during the hackathon, people were all, trying to get stuff that will track data of people in pain, rate your pain or online pain diaries, that kind of thing. But what's going to keep somebody going back to the app? What's going to keep somebody using the app? That's the core problem that we were trying to solve. And then we talked to Mary Lynn, and she was telling me about her physiotherapist saying to her, try to climb the Harbour Bridge. What are your goals? And she said, I want to just be able to walk and not experience pain. And the physiotherapist told her, you can do better than that. And they both came up with climb the Harbour Bridge. And I could see her eyes lighting up. And I saw the power of goals. And that's what it's about. The goals are the mechanism to keep people coming back, to generate that data. So we identified in this design 3 key things that we want to achieve with the app, which is the green, to add immediate value to people's lives. If you don't have that, people are not going to come back. People are not going to use the app. The second part is education, which is a big part when we were talking to Tim and Mary Lynn. There's a lot of knowledge out there, but it's just so diffuse and it's not very well known to everybody. And it's not specialized. It's not tailored because it's just out there and it's not personalized. And the last part is social connection. People in chronic pain aren't just looking for a solution. They want, like the theme of this week has been, they want their pain to not be invisible. They want other people to understand that. So these are the 3 things that we are trying to achieve. And we feel that the app, in the way that we structure it, and through goals, and through the mechanism of looking forward and achieving these goals, tries to hit at these 3 main points.
Thanks, Harry. Yes, that was a good overview. So it probably gave the impression that the app's all done. Unfortunately, we're all doing this part-time, but the idea is to evolve this and make sure that we have it right. So the thing we want to do is put the patient in control and develop these tools. So in our team, we've got the experienced people, we've got data scientists. I'm a software developer myself. So I think we can do a lot of this stuff, maybe not make it look good. So what we need is also UX, but we also want to work with people in the field. And the pain book is a really good one. We had more talks this morning, knowledge, meaning, those are all really important things that we want to incorporate. The things that the ACI have been doing, you just want to reuse that rather than reinvent. So access to good information, but in the app we can make it relative to the context, so you don't have to linearly go through a book and then try to apply it. You can just apply it when and where it's necessary. Connecting with the health professionals is really important, so we want to enable that through the app. So people can actually see what you've been doing, how you're tracking on your goals, what that does with your pain levels and such. So when you get back to their office, it's immediately something to talk about, and hopefully it's objective data as well. And yeah, connecting with peers, really important. Messages of encouragement can be sent, but also, the support and having other people who have run a goal tell you, okay, this is how I did it. So the right support when you need it. So again, it's enabling technology. It's not the panacea, but it's something that will help people. And there's other things of wearables. So they actually tracks the number of paces you're taking, so you don't have to figure out how many steps you've taken. It'll all feed that back. Pebble watches tell you how you slept, what your sleep rhythm was. As sleep is important, deep sleep is very crucial as well. So we try and all get this done. We have some good support. People have offered web video, RTC, and also SMS messaging. So we're trying to incorporate all of that into our app. But we really need your help. So in the break, come talk to us. Tell us how you think what you're doing might actually work together well with what we're doing. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks very much. Look, you're totally on the money, I think, in terms of where we're trying to go with integrating e-health, and I think particularly that coaching. I know there's a lot of research going on at the moment in terms of just what can technology provide in terms of ongoing coaching? Is just an SMS enough to keep us motivated, or do you actually need a video consultation, or how much of it is really about facilitated network, which is what we've got here in terms of peer-peer support in terms of how you're going. So I think it's a really interesting point in time, but what we really need, though, is good research on this. I mean, I do hope that what you do is include some research in this, because at the moment we have very little evidence about what actually works. So I think it'd be great to do this and then evaluate it.
Yeah, it's for us it's the other way around as well. So we want to incorporate the latest research, and then all the data that comes out of it should feed back into more research.